Good morning, Chilliwack. Welcome to Off Topic with Tim and Matt. That's not Tim. Tim is actually in Hamilton, Ontario, celebrating the birth of his first grandson. So you got Matt, and you've got Mr. Bill Loewen from the Chilliwack Giants Minor Football Club. Bill is actually putting on an event that we talked about last week with the Chilliwack Giants that is looking at building, and I got to get these words right because these were fabulous words: mental resilience, emotional intelligence, and personal accountability in young athletes. So the Chilliwack Giants Youth Football Initiative, building resilience on and off the field, March 5th, Chilliwack Cultural Center. Bill's the guy who's setting this all up. And Bill, you're going to tell us today how, why, and, well, we just talked about the when. So how did this come about?
Yeah, as Chilliwack Giants, we are more than just a football program, right? We know that we have these kids on the field, and off the field they have challenges. We all do. So we take it on ourselves. We have the responsibility. We feel that pride, to that ownership that, hey, these athletes, they need support off the field as well. And now we are going to step up, and we're going to give that support to them, whether or not they know they need it or not.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the why.
That's the why. And then, so how did you put this all together?
Yeah, I was laying in bed one night thinking about, I have two athletes, sons that play football. And as they grow up, I see the challenges that they face, and I know the challenges that other athletes are facing. And it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. We have the opportunity, and we need to take that responsibility on and support these athletes. And then it kind of just snowballed from there. Made the first call out to Angus, pitched him the idea, and the rest is history.
Yeah. And Angus was on board with it right away, you said?
Within the first 30 seconds of what I had to tell him, he was like, Bill, it's hits me close to home. Let's make this happen.
Well, and I've met Angus a few times, different camps and whatnot. Super stand-up guy. He's always there for the kids. He's always working with the grassroots to move it forward. And I think now more than ever, the emotional intelligence and mental resilience of young people need to be supported. Social media is a big kicker. Yeah. People get on the internet and you're very, very brave behind a keyboard where no one sees your face, and the things that are being said and done on the internet aren't okay. And these young folks need to know outlets of who can support them. And so, why this matters right now, in your opinion?
Yeah, like you had touched on, athletes nowadays, especially younger athletes, they're having a lot coming at them, fast, furious, trying to keep up with the Joneses, the mental challenges that these athletes face, off the field are arguably sometimes more challenging than they are on the field. So we as coaches and guiders on the field also can help them off the field. Yeah. And if we can't, we have avenues to be able to guide them in the right direction.
Yeah. And then, as adults ourselves, we've gone through a lot of the ups and downs, maybe not as fast as they come at kids these days.
Right.
I mean, you really look at, one of the things that I've always looked at is financial stability. And back in the 70s, 80s, when I was growing up, I know you probably weren't around yet then, but when I was growing up, financial stability could be built and it was maintained. Now, COVID happened, people lost jobs. Tariffs happen, people lose jobs. You have these children that have, and they go to have-nots right away. And you have have-nots that never get out of that.
Right.
And it comes at them hard because, like you said, keeping up with the Joneses, there seems to be this need to ridicule people that have less. And whereas people should be helping and offering that hand and pulling each other up, we do a lot as a society to push people down. So there was another question we had on the sheets here that I really wanted to. Is this just for football players?
Absolutely not. Ultimately, this is more of a football engaged speaking panel, but it's not about football. It's about building the resilience for the youth and the experiences that come through these football players are going to transfer to, athletes of all types. So definitely any youth athlete, parent, coach, definitely come enjoy the event.
And now you get a lot of these talking things where excuse me, you get they talk about things that happen in their lives, and they think that the past. What makes this different than just a talk where they're talking about the obstacles that they overcame?
Yeah, we're this is not a lecture. We're not speaking to you. This is a conversation, real conversation about real athletes, real people speaking to real athletes that are about to experience the same difficulties or struggles. And, this is going to be more of a interactive program rather than just to sit there for an hour and a half, 2 hours and listen. We do have a fireside Q&A at the end of the three talks. We'll open it up the floor for questions. We are receiving questions currently to ask our speakers. So this is very much an engaged program.
So the three speakers are Angus Reid. He's a former CFL legend, and he's a respected member of the football community. Sean Millington, another former CFL legend and a community role model. But let's talk about the third one, Mariel Anderson, founder of Forged Youth Legacy Within. Who is she, and why is she important to this talk?
Oh, Mariel's great. Chilliwack resident at heart. Mariel has been through a lot in her life. She's a high-level collegiate athlete. Also the founder of a podcast, Forged in Youth, which is what we are doing here in a podcast form. It fits perfect. So we have female athletes in the Chilliwack Giants. I think it's important that they also hear from the Chilliwack or from a female voice. Yeah. So being able to connect Mariel with our female athletes and bring that presence is critical, and she's going to be a big part of this event.
You're perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that's March 5th, 2026 at the Chilliwack Cultural Center. Now, tickets, how much would costing?
$0. Tickets are free.
I like that price. That's the best price there is. How do you get tickets?
Yeah, you do need to get a ticket to events so we can maintain our capacity with the Cultural Center. Tickets are available here on the screen. This QR code will take you right to procure the tickets.
So if you pause it here, you can get this QR code and scan it and get yourself a ticket for the event. Anything else that you want people to know before we sign off here? Anything else you want them to know about the event?
Yeah, ultimately at the end of the day, event is about investing in our young people, the future leaders of our community, future leaders of our group. Right. This is not just about teaching another skill on the field. Right. Yeah. This is not what that's for. This is about giving the kids some tools to lift themselves, lift their community. We're also in talks with a few sponsors, but I would also be open to take more sponsorship help, so this event can remain free.
Yeah.
At no means do I want any barrier to be there for anybody that needs to come to get support. So free event because of our sponsors.
Well, and that's the thing is that a lot of times these young people and even the older youth are facing issues. It's not that they don't want to talk to somebody; they don't know who to talk to or where to go to get the help that they need. And I think that it needs to be something that we make more prevalent in society, is that the help is here, and a big open sign over top of where the help is. I've lost people due to mental health that I would have been there for if I knew. And I think they would have come to me if they knew they could. And Chase Claypool, right, who is a longtime athlete in the Valley here, played in the NFL, has his Raising Hope society that he runs that really highlights where people can go for help. And I think the more of these that we do, the better off we're going to be with building our next generation. And I love I love how Chilliwack Giants does it. They always seem to have players from their last year working with the next generation going forward. I know Jacob Bernath.
Yeah, that's great.
I coached him when he played with my son, and now he's out there coaching kids out there. I think it's just phenomenal the way that you guys do it with the Giants and bringing back the ex-athletes to work with the young athletes. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to this. I will be there because I think this is a very valuable lecture. That being said, if a young guy needs a ticket, and I'm not taking the spot out of their hands either, I'd rather them have this than me take up a lot of space, because they take up a lot of space. But that's besides the point. Anyways, Bill Loewen, Chilliwack Giants minor football. Links to this stuff, is it on your guys' website, chilliwackgiants.com yet?
Definitely. Yep.
Okay.
Full court blast.
chilliwackgiants.com, probably their Facebook page. We're going to get this out here on vbnsports.com, off topic with Tim and Matt, because this is something that's important for the young people today. Bill, appreciate your time. Come down here.
Thank you.
Hope to see you
Appreciate
again.
the platform. Thank you.